So, what story does your book tell us about the Indigenous legal struggles, especially given that your work specifically focuses on India?
Yeah, I think this book, though it geographically sort of focuses on India, I think it might resonate with stories across the globe, where you have the overlap of dense forests, rich in biodiversity, as well as rich with indigenous culture and heritage. And so the story that this book tells is one of me as a lawyer trying to go there with clever legal ideas, saying this is how we're going to get your land rights recognized, or this is what's going to happen, and realizing that not only was I naive, but it was a humbling experience to sort of sit with them and see how they work with the law, right?
Absolutely.
So I think it talks about how not just indigenous communities, but communities who are embedded in those sites of injustice and whose legal reality is shaped by these laws which exclude or criminalize them, know the law way better.
Of course.
And are trying to sort of work from there. And so for me, it was a huge lesson in how does one lawyer and how does one actually surrender to social movements as being generative of these legal strategies, all while not abdicating your responsibility either.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Here it's not just an act being like, okay, indigenous communities know what the law should do,
Right.
but rather working with them to understand their legal needs. What is the kind of remedy they seek?
Yeah.
What would the ideas of repair look like for them?
Yeah.
How can the law heal this situation?
Yeah.
Because those are the kinds of questions that interest them.
Right.
And to then build strategy from that kind of ground up process. And so that is one. And I think the second is the kind of stamina that these indigenous struggles have. Like some of the struggles I had the privilege of interviewing have been active and alive for over 10 years and have been using the law for those many years. They've achieved a lot of small legal gains along the way, some big ones. They've transformed the legal landscape. But it's that kind of stamina and sort of the use of law despite being caught between a rock and a hard place. So it's very, I'm afraid to use the term resilient, but that's sort of the term that comes to mind.
Yeah.